Community, about to get you guys an exclusive update on PulseChain here at the Louis V store. About to run in and get on R8. I'm just playing. What's going on, community? Your boy here, Wallrus, coming at y'all live out here in the Domain in Austin, Texas. Man, it's a beautiful time to be alive. Want to come give y'all a little update on PulseChain, drop a little news, see what's going on with regulation. Whew, we have had an absolute tweet storm coming out of RH, right? So, as you guys have probably seen, we've got an update from the Aragon team. That's one of the major clients on PulseChain. They've got that all waxed. They're coming through. Got a bug fix, moving along. It's really, really great to see the Aragon team stepping up, helping with development and moving through. And it really goes to show how difficult software can be. Aragon's a polished up client. It's been around for a long time. The ETH guys have been using it to great success. And here we are with implementation, still having to go through right wrongs, fix these things, sort through ways to improve and really progress software. And it just really goes to show how difficult some of these things can be. So that's moving forward. A lot of people have seen this picture here showing the sync time that we have left on the Aragon nodes. Now, you can see that it still has roughly 80 days to sync. That is 80 days of sync time, not time to sync. So it will not take that long to actually go through and get this stage completed. So no one has to panic. We're not 80 days away. It's not going to hold things up. That's just the time left to sync. So there's a few things where you can use snapshots, not the snapshots we're thinking of, but snapshots for nodes where they can go through and log data in a way that allows them to sync much, much quicker, makes these things very, very easy. So all that's progressing forward. We've seen a lot of these positive updates from RH and a lot of updates in general. So some things that I'm really glad that he's touching on here is the stable coins, the regulation, some of this progress with the banks, a lot of this noise that we're saying. The biggest one to me is seeing the push here in the US jurisdictions around stable coins. We saw that Silvergate got whacked. That's a tough one. So for those that don't know, Silvergate is one of the largest banks when it comes to crypto deposits. They held up a lot of value in the space. They held the treasuries for multiple large entities, and they're basically being shut down. They're being liquidated. Even BlackRock took a position in them at the end of the year. So that's not a small thing. And then most recently, we saw Silicon Valley Bank actually be collapsed. It's now being taken over by the California regulators. That is something that has not happened since 2008. And for those that don't know, that aren't from the US, 2008 was for the largest recession in modern times when it comes to the US. So that is no small thing for us here. So seeing how this has progressed, there's a lot of uncertainty and turmoil in the standard markets. But for us here at PulseChain, things are moving forward. Seeing RH now move to these topics, I think is really, really important. This is stuff that we've been championing for a very, very long time. Definitions of stable coins, regulations, where these frameworks are coming from, who are the players actually pushing these things forward. So I'm really excited and bullish to see him speaking on these things. He has a special insight and perspective on a lot of these things that we don't see from a lot of the standard players in the space. So I personally am extremely excited about this. And for everyone who's followed the spaces, my Twitter, a lot of things that I've been championing here recently, these things matter. I'm very excited to see this taking a more prevalent role in the discourse in our community as we can progress, be more astute, be more savvy on how we can debate these things more accurate. So seeing this turmoil in the space gives me some bullishness. I would have liked to have seen these things turn over faster for us to be ahead. This is something RH commented on earlier. It would have been amazing to see some of these leveraged players get wrecked, get liquidated sooner in our space so that we could have been on more of a true bull cycle. Once it came time to actually see some of these issues in the legacy space, we could have been more of a beacon of hope, and rather than from the outside seeing the same types of turmoil that we see in the standard markets. So again, it is what it is. I think we're progressing well. I do think that we're going to end up seeing more turmoil. So again, for those that were seeing their first rally and now feel like they got the wind knocked out of their sails, that is the space. This is what you pay emotionally for those gains. So everyone take a deep breath, relax. This is what comes from the space. This volatility is what you see. This is a chance to go in and DCA again. So if you were looking at where you could have been a couple months ago, here you would have seen where you're at. You saw the charts move up, and you saw it come back down. Now's a chance to DCA, buy the dip. For those that are new, buy the dip is one of the mantras that we live by. You understand that this is how you get in. It's not how valuable a thing you can buy, but how valuable a thing you can buy for what price. It's when you get in, not when you end up getting out. Timing in the market is much more important. So timing these things is very, very difficult. Staying in the market and holding is much, much easier. We are looking forward to really strong movements from Tom Emmers, Bill Hagerty, a few players in the U.S. Senate and government that are actually pushing these things forward. We saw Voyager actually get pushed back recently on appeal. We did see really positive movement in the Voyager case when it comes to Binance actually acquiring them. They were pushed back on appeal. We'll see how that plays out. That's one that could have a big effect on the market, so it'll be something to keep eyes on. But we can see a bit of a bright spot there, seeing that judge in that case pushed back on the SEC, saying you guys can't just say they're doing unregistered securities. You have to have framework. You have to have proof. You have to come in with more than just your word. And I think that's very, very positive. So we'll hopefully see more of this rhetoric toward pushing back on controls and the overreach of the SEC. Now, another quick one that I would like to touch on, because a lot of people got really wound up with this in the space, but it's the Green United case. So most people that are reporting on this case saw it as the SEC saying that nodes and mining hardware were securities. That's not what this says. If you actually read through the filing, what they say is that there was a fraudulent centralized player selling a security that was masquerading as nodes and hardware. So this was essentially a fraud case. There was also an unregistered security. It really had nothing to do with nodes and mining hardware. If you read the actual filing, there is nothing in there about the SEC actually trying to identify those things as securities. So it's really been overblown seeing how those things played out. So there's a lot going on. Everything in the space is progressing very, very well. We can see that we have a lot of uncertainty in the markets, but not when it comes to our space. PulseChain is working fantastic. We're seeing these things progress quickly. We're getting more and more dev updates. Again, we're getting more black shirt RAs, less Gucci, and it should be a time where most people are very, very excited to be participating in the space. We've got a lot of great developments coming out. I'm as bullish as I can be on V3. We could not be in a better place right now, I think. There's uncertainty everywhere, but we're getting great updates. We're progressing. We're looking to be a beacon of hope in the crypto space. So we're going to keep leading. We're going to keep building. Community, it is an absolute blast to be here. Hopefully you guys are feeling well kept up to date. I'll try to keep doing more space. We're going to have South by Southwest here in the next couple of weeks. There'll be a lot of crypto people here in Austin that I'll be linking up with. I'll keep you all up to date on that as well. Let me know what I can do. Get at me. Please drop a comment, share, retweet, whatever it is, whatever platform you see this on. Help us get this outreach out here. Please help us with engagement. Let us see what we can do in the space. We're doing more and more as we progress. We're going to keep working for y'all. Appreciate it. Cheers. Catch y'all around.